Part 1. We met in Sin City. Had known you for less than 24 hours before I'd already named you holy. Decided you were perfect on sight. Gave you my last night in Vegas. Let you dance your way into me and my notebook. That night was everything a poem should be. And 3 months later, you were standing in the JFK airport. Found you waiting ironically beneath a clock. When you turned around, you smiled as if you swallowed the sun. Hugged me like missing puzzle piece. I was wearing red lipstick. And as soon as I settled into your arms, time sped up. It has a tendency to do that when I smile more often than usual. You make me smile more often than usual. In 7 days, my lips had grown accustomed to you. My body had not known how to give back until it met you, and as the hurricane rapidly approached, I tried to let your kisses sink into my skin, tried to breathe you in deep and tuck your scent into the folds of my throat so I would not forget your smell. Tried not to let plane tickets and distance and zip codes come between us. Didn't want it all to loosen your grip when you held me. You held me as if I wasn't leaving. But Monday came too soon, as it always does, and 3,000 miles make for one hell of a wake-up call. I wanted to stay in bed with you. But 5 hours in the air is too much time to listen to Adele. Too much time to think, to write, to miss. 5 hours turned you into dust, into phone calls, photos, and dreams. Nothing tangible enough to keep me warm the way you did. On the plane ride back, I feared that my bed would feel more like a coffin without you in it. Wasn't ready to unpack. Wasn't sure of what awaited my return other than the cold hardwood of my LA apartment. Suddenly, I didn't mind the humid New York summer as much as I said I had. I wanted it back. Expected to leave the weight of my worries somewhere on a subway, maybe on the L to Brooklyn for someone else to claim. But my luggage seems heavier now than it was when I left. Part 2. I met your mother on a Sunday. Seems of no coincidence that this is when the holiest of gatherings are scheduled to occur. She looked at me carefully. Curiosity in her voice. Wasn't sure how California had made its way into her Long Island kitchen. She was gracious anyway, and kind. I saw you in her. Understood when she spoke that she was the reason you can tell the difference between woman and girl. The reason why you plan so far ahead, why you never let me pay for anything, and why you always roll your eyes whenever I try to. I ate her food across from you at her table. Tried to seem as though I wasn't affected. Tried not to smile as much as it all made me. Didn't want to scare you. I know how much my love can weigh. Told you when you asked that I am known for avoiding capture, for turning men into poets. Failed to mention that when I do fall, I love like concrete hard, offer up my heart to those who do not know what to do with it, like I have no common sense. And my mother says, that is how women tend to love in my family, like fools. Give everything, ask for nothing in return. Maybe this is true, but I would volunteer to be a fool for a man like you on my best day. And on my worst, I would love you into music if you let me look. All I got are poems. These small hands, the Pacific Ocean, and this second-grade art project of a heart, and it ain't much. But you can have my smile if you trade me for yours. Just promise not to close your eyes too soon. Last time we blinked, someone placed a country between us when we weren't looking, maybe to test the laws of chance. We're the divine of the human spirit, but we have no idea where we are going. And fate is a restless driver. Vision too cloudy from hookah smoke to look up at the road ahead, too caught up in the bachata song playing on the radio to be worried about where we end up. Fate is careless, irresponsible, and has a heart made of daredevils and cupid arrows. But he led me to you. So before I threaten him with warnings of broken hearts and you should have known better, I will instead think first of how my body learned how to give back when it met you. And I will not say a word unless it is to thank him.